Hey, y'all, hope y'all doing well. I wanted to run something by you because I got something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I guess I need to button my shirt, don't I? And I had to do a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot better about presentation, and I understand that. But I've been wanting to do for a couple of years, maybe 3 years now, like a Facebook or a social media, YouTube type talk show for the local area, and focus a lot on the Warrior River, because like I said, I've got that group, and there's a lot of positive things that goes on around here. But then somehow I want it to be something that builds some moral and ethical integrity into the show and then into the community. But to do that, I have to try to present things in a positive, in a positive message. And we say, well, Rodney, that's not hard. Why do a positive message? I mean, why not do a positive message? Because I know a lot of mine are kind of negative about don't do this, don't do that, or they did this, and they did this is bad. Well, the reason for that for me, and I know this to be the truth, y'all, there's a lot of positive messages out there, and the world is a wreck. And the reason that positive messages tend to destroy the earth is because you don't need to know what you can do or what you need to do. You need to know the perimeters of your actions, and if you go beyond that, that's where you're going to get in trouble. You need to have as much freedom to do whatever you want to do inside some perimeters, and those perimeters are what you shouldn't do. And of course, a lot of that goes back to the scriptures. But you should be able to do anything you want to inside certain guidelines. And I can't tell you what that is that you can do or should do. I can tell you what I've done. I can tell you where I've made money. I can tell you where I've made good money in the plumbing business or the septic tank business. But just as soon as I tell people the kind of money that I've made in a certain business, then a lot of other people jump in that business. And then the competition goes up, and then the profits go down because people start competing. And then the people coming in last, they say, well, Rodney lied. There ain't that kind of money in that. Well, there was before everybody got in it. And that's the problem with, on the financial side, of telling everybody buy real estate. Everybody do an Airbnb. Do you know the Airbnb market is collapsing right now? Because all these people made them some money. And then they went out and told people, go start you an Airbnb. And then it caused a problem for the cities and their hotel businesses, and then they started passing legislation in the cities and ordinances to shut down Airbnbs because it was hurting their hotel business. So it's impossible for me to get out here and tell you what to do. So we have to be told what not to do. You can do anything you want to inside these parameters. Don't get outside of that. And that's what the Bible does. But so many people see that as a negative. And that's why they don't like the Bible. That's why they don't like church. But then church has gotten to where they say, well, you can do anything you want to still go to heaven. And then people do anything they want to, and then they end up in a hellish situation on this earth. Because it's a realm where you reap what you sow. But you can't do just anything you want to do. And when you start saying, they did this, and they shouldn't have done this, then you're seen as negative. But there's nothing negative about parameters for your own life. Now, some people want to say, well, we're going to put up boundaries and tell other people what to do. No, you have to put boundaries up for yourself. And then, when those boundaries become problems for other people, then you may have to put boundaries up to keep people away. That's a hard thing to say. I've never had to put up boundaries until here lately. What the world would call boundaries. I've never kept anybody away from my house. Never. But I got people now that I won't let it come to my house. And let me finish up with this. I'm going to tell you something you should do. I've told people I've made some negative posts. People say it's negative. I don't think it's negative. I'm going to tell you what you should do. If you have some young people in your community that you know have not had a proper raising or even a negative raising, and even if they have a drug addiction problem, you need to try to reach out to them and see if you can help them. Don't just leave that up to the church. And if you are a church member, you need to really be trying to reach out to them, because that's your duty to society. It's your duty to God, but it's your duty to society. Don't be a church member. Here I go again. Don't be a church member that knows what your responsibilities are to society and leave young people out there that was raised not to know anything else, and you don't offer them some kind of something. Now, you don't have to bring them into your house, but you need to go over there and help them a little bit, and then open the door up to maybe tell them about what you know about the Bible and try to give them a new direction. And you might find out over a year or two, you do build up a strong enough relationship with them. You say, hey, you know what? You can come stay at my house a little while. I'll help you out and maybe get you in GED school. And let me tell you something. That is nothing great and wonderful, because people in my family's done that type of thing several times. My grandmother did it. My grandfather did it. I've got an aunt that's done it. It's nothing. It's nothing to help. You're talking about young people. It's a little different when you start helping out older people that you knows better. You know, they was raised in church and they just chose to go dark. There's a lot of children out here, I'm talking about even young adults, and ain't had any parents in their life. They've had no mentors. And people are driving by them that can mentor them. And when you mentor them and when you get some success, you help build society, and you help turn society back toward what we are taught in church, having an influence in society. And you can only influence those in need. And if people that's making $150,000, almost $200,000 a year gets mad at you, and they don't want anything to do with you, or they start trying to punish you for that, let them go away, because they're destroying society. So my positive message is this, is it's okay to help those people, and it's our duty as a Christian, but as a good member of society. We incarcerate more people in this country than any other developed nation. Think about that. Think about all that. Everybody talks about our taxes are too high, our taxes are too high, our taxes are too high. What if we could cut that incarceration rate down in half? And cut the taxes that goes to jails in half, because we cut that incarceration rate down by half by reaching out to a young person. You ain't gotta start a mission. Reach out to a 15-year-old fella in your town that you know needs a little mentoring. Do that. Do that. I just told you a positive message. And you can change the world. At least you can change it for him. Have you some personal boundaries that you don't cross? I guess if people cross those boundaries and try to punish you for doing something good, you'll have to act up and put up some personal boundaries to keep them away. I guess that's okay. That don't feel okay. But maybe we'll get this talk show going, and I got to figure out how to inspire people. But again, it's hard for me to inspire people, because I feel like you should be free to do anything you want to do inside certain parameters. Look at PDiddy. He did anything he wanted to do outside of those parameters. I'd never be like PDiddy, and you shouldn't either.